Today's player breakdown per request is on one Lamelo Ball. Now at first, I hesitated to do one on Lamelo, just because he is so young off in his NBA career. But after watching a lot of film on him, I decided to go ahead and do it, largely because I don't think most of what he does well is really going to change. And what I mean by that is I definitely don't think it'll change for the worse. So, here we go. Before we even get started, I will say the thing that I think helps Lamelo the most at this point is his irrational confidence, which, if you've kept up with him since he's been younger, that's nothing new, so there's no surprise there. Now, I'm not going to stop it here, but I want you to remember how he gets Kevin Huerter up in the air with his shot fake and how he chooses to finish this ball right here around the rim. Because in this very next clip, you'll notice a similar finish. Now, Lamelo really isn't the most athletic, especially by NBA standards. If you've watched him a lot, he hardly ever finishes above the rim at 6'7", but he's got a deep, unique bag of finishing around the rim. Left hand, right hand, he's got it all. And I want you to remember, that's on Joel Embiid, who's one of the best shot blockers in the league. So remember Joel Embiid, you'll see him again. This right here is a clip that you may have also seen. It went viral. That's something I'll also get into. LaMelo's got a very nice mid-range, and at his size, he'll be able to get that off, especially over some of the guards at his position. If he continues to hit that, you'll have to put bigger guards on him. Now, his shooting is something that I find interesting just because he's already getting the respect of a shooter from the film that I've watched, while he's only shooting around 32% from three. Okay, this is the next clip I want to stop. Sheesh. The one thing that LaMelo and his brother Lonzo are infamously known for is their passing. Here's what I think the difference is between the two. If you're talking pure precision, put the ball in the money passing, I'd say Lonzo's better at that. But LaMelo's anticipation and instincts are off the charts. Right here. And part of it's just his confidence, like I mentioned. But look how early he's committed to this lob. Somewhere in between there, right here. He's decided he's already going to throw that. Look at how early, I kind of tried to stop it, I couldn't catch it. But look at how early he decides to throw this lob. I'll give it one more try. Yeah, right here, he's already committed to throwing this lob. That's just anticipation. I really would, and I'm not saying Lonzo doesn't have it, but I think LaMelo's is a little better. And it gets him in trouble at times. I'll get into that here in a little while, but sometimes it hurts him. He also does a great job of using his size to his benefit when passing. This is a pass that a lot of even the great guards can't make just because he just kind of hooks it. And there are more examples of it, just right over defenders. At 6'7", he can do that. You know, guys like Braun, Jokic, just bigger guys who like to pass can make this pass. There you see two more. Just beautiful passes. Now the first one, I told you to remember Joel Embiid. I don't know what Embiid exactly was doing right here. It looks like he may have just kind of flopped. But there are more, so keep an eye out for that. Another tough finish around Embiid. He does a great job of using his ball handling mixed with his length to get to the rim on really any defenders, big or smaller. He knows how to use his size for sure. And this is another part that's huge in LaMelo's game. He has a really good, and I mentioned it earlier on the Huerter shot, mid-range game, and that's between both his mid-range jumper and his floater. Largely his floater, which he's had for a while. Now, a lot of times you'll hear about how the mid-range game is kind of a lost art in today's game. But at the same time, if you think about it, Most of the great players still have it. There's another tough floater. Embiid's in the area. He's almost got him lost sometimes. There's the finishing. Either hand. Another thing I wanted to get into with this finishing. So I mentioned earlier, he isn't the best athlete, but he's got ridiculous hang time. You'll notice that on not only his finishes, but some of his passes. There was one earlier, I think there are a few more. He's able to hang in the air on finishes and passes for a long time. See that right there? This is another great finish on a shot blocker. Look, that's Clint Capella. Challenging another one of the league's best shot blockers right at the rim. With his left hand. Off of the pick and roll, like most of today's guards, he's lethal. You'll see that with all these. I don't really want to talk about that too long. He's got that. I wish there was more of his defensive stuff. That was kind of harder to find. I'll address that maybe in the comments or talk about it another time, because he's definitely got some things, some weaknesses, and a couple of strengths going on there as well. Extended range. He's got limitless range already, and part of that just comes from that confidence that I keep addressing. Like I mentioned earlier, he gets the respect of a shooter, which I find interesting for a guy. He's only around 32%, but it's part of what makes his shot fake as good as it is as well. You'll notice throughout this clip there a couple times, his shot fake, and this is the NBA. Most guys, they're all good. Well, they're all good, but his shot fake, because of the respect he gets in the shot, and it looks exactly like his jumper, works like a charm. There's a mid-range jumper over a decent-sized defender. There's another tough finish around the rim. I'm telling you, he's one of the better finishers. I'll say this, and this is a stretch to say, I just thought of it. If Kyrie was 6'7" and still chose to finish below the rim, to me that's almost how Lamelo Ball finishes. And I'm not saying he's quite as good yet. He'll still blow a couple here and there, but he's tough at the rim. There's him shooting the floater over a smaller defender. I'm telling you, anything mid-range, the floater especially, but he's got that. He can get it off, he can get it over people, he can get by people. In the quickest or the fastest, and look, hold that thought. There it is again. Once again, this is Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid at this point, I wish I could remember the time on the other two. He has no idea what to do with LaMelo around the rim. He's just so unique. He's never, like I said, he's never even trying to finish above it, which almost helps him out because you have no idea what he's going to do. Goes up under him, gets it off the glass. Another mid-range jumper. Left hand, finish at the rim. Look, there's two of the things I wanted to address. There's one, and you'll see a couple. There's the shot fake. I'm telling you, since you're able to go back, unlike I am in this film, and really look at it, watch his shots and watch his shot fakes. They look identical. It allows, he gets defenders to bite all the time. Into his floater. Yeah, while not being exactly the quickest or the fastest, he has great pace and he's got a knack for getting into the lane. There is a shot fake, getting into the lane, finishing through contact with the left. I'm telling you, and that's just a good, plain old-fashioned drop-off pass. Something I think underrated is the fact that he's able to throw passes over defenders of any size, of all sizes. That's something the guys, smaller guys, Steph, Dames, etc., might struggle to do. Here, now there's not much of it in this clip, but this is something else that Lamelo is great at. He's a very active rebounder. Not just can he get boards, but he actively goes after rebounds. That's why he's obviously so early in his career. Not only did he get one, but he's approached or gotten close to several triple doubles. Shot fake into the lane, Joel Embiid. Look, I'm telling you, he just got Joel Embiid dunked on. The clips I've shown you earlier, like at this point, Embiid doesn't have a clue. Is he gonna shoot this floater? Or is he gonna try to go up, scoop under, come with the left? No, he does neither. Drops it off. Great finish by Biyombo, but that's Lamelo. Now there was one clip. I'm not sure if it's in here. I don't think it is actually, unfortunately. But yeah, get above the defenders, throwing the ball over the top, where he just turns and just walks Trae Young down to the rim and finishes. Just uses his size on him. Just turns from the. I'm talking about from the arc. Just turns and backs Trae Young down. Look, there's that hang time I wanted to talk about, or I mentioned earlier. And a lot of guys have this. This is just something that's nice. To be able to hang in the air and make that pass is nice. The balls both have that. Him and his brother, that full court passing, throwing it over the top. But yeah, there are a couple other things I wanted to talk about with Lamelo. Not everything was in that clip particularly. I watched a lot, and that's the best one I could find. Most of the accumulated things I wanted to discuss. But like I mentioned earlier, his confidence can get him in trouble. He is somewhat turnover prone. It's not a huge problem considering he's a high usage rookie who's playing the point guard, but it's something you'd like to see go down a little bit. He needs to be more locked in on the defensive end, which was something we scouts and people knew about him coming in. But he's got great potential on that end. He can guard 1 through 3, depending on how much size he puts on 1 through 4. That's another thing. Obviously, he needs to put on a little more size and strength. It'll help him be even better around the rim. But no, I was thinking about some guys I might take him over, and long term after watching, and I know this is bold, but after watching a lot of film on him, I would possibly consider taking him over the next 10 years over Trae Young, John Morant, and possibly even Ben Simmons. With that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Give me some feedback on what you thought. But that's all I've got for today.